Hello and welcome to the VolVision News Special Report. I'm Michaela Franklin and we'll get to this week's episode of Momentum in just a few minutes. Yesterday, the World Health Organization characterized the coronavirus as a pandemic, and the University of Montevallo is taking precautions to prevent the spread to campus. President Stewart and the rest of the administration are meeting daily to assess the status and threat of the virus to campus. We reached out to the President's office for further comment, and we have not heard a response. UM has canceled all non-essential domestic and international travel, and university athletic trips are currently under review. All faculty have been told to prepare for a possible switch to online classes. The Malone Center is available to help professors with converting face-to-face classes to an online format. The university is asking everyone to complete the Student Access Survey sent to your forum emails. The survey will help the university determine the technology abilities students will have if the university's converts to online teaching. The Jefferson County Health Department held a press conference earlier today. Health Department CEO Dr. Mark Wilson says that there are no confirmed cases in Alabama quite yet, but there is a high possibility for a case to develop soon. He also advises that events or gatherings with more than 500 people be canceled for everyone's safety. Universities around the state are preparing for the spread of the coronavirus to Alabama. Beginning next week, Samford University and Auburn University will transition all their classes to an online format. The CDC recommends washing your hands frequently, and if soap and water are not available, use hand sanitizer with at least 60% alcohol. Avoid close contact with others. Cover your mouth when you cough or sneeze, of course. If you use a tissue, immediately throw it away and wash your hands. And if you are sick, stay home, except to go to the doctor. Governments around the world are taking strict measures to try and slow it down. In the U.S., President Trump announced a temporary ban on travel to some European countries that is set to begin this Friday. The U.S. already has travel restrictions in place for China and Iran. Daryl Forbes is at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport with the very latest.
With travel restrictions to and from Europe taking place later on tonight at midnight, speaking to travelers here at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport, there's some mixed reactions when it comes to traveling. Americans are still traveling for now.
This virus, we have to be safe, but we still want to travel.
Got some gloves, trying to stay away from a lot of people, just being mindful of being cautious.
This after President Trump on Wednesday announced restrictions on travel from Europe to the U.S.
We will be suspending all travel from Europe to the United States for the next 30 days.
But the president's initial announcement later required some important corrections. The travel suspension doesn't apply to all of Europe. It applies only to 26 countries, including France, Germany, and hard-hit Italy, not the UK and Ireland. American citizens, permanent residents, and some of their family members can still travel home. Vice President Mike Pence Thursday morning added,
Americans coming home will be funneled through 13 different airports. They'll be screened, and then we're going to ask every American and legal resident returning to the United States to self-quarantine for 14 days.
The restrictions still causing concerns for Americans returning from abroad.
I was pretty nervous about not being able to go home.
Now, when it comes to possible travel restrictions within the country, the president says that has not yet been discussed, but it is on the table. From the Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport in Atlanta, I'm Daryl Forges.
We'll post the latest coronavirus updates on the VolVision News social media. Now we return you to this week's Momentum Talk Show. Thank you for joining us.
Hello and welcome to Momentum. I'm your host, Garrett Devers. Thanks so much for joining us. Today we have Dr. Cindy Tidwell, the Undergraduate Research Program Coordinator here at Montevallo. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. I'm delighted to be here today.
So, Undergraduate Research Day is coming up next week. Can you give us some kind of an overview of what it is?
Absolutely. Undergraduate Research Day is really the culmination of a student's undergraduate research project. It's a day where on campus we can celebrate the work that they've done, and they have an opportunity to present to other students as well as faculty.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So what majors can get involved with undergraduate research?
Well, you know, this is our 23rd annual UR Day, and 23 years ago, really, it was concentrated in the College of Arts and Sciences. Most of the researchers were in the College of Arts and Sciences, but for the last several years, we've been able to boast that we've had students from all over campus, from every college, and so it really, truly is a college-wide event.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that. So what benefits does research have for undergraduate students?
Well, I like to say that undergraduate research is the pinnacle in undergraduate education. It's the ultimate of all the course experiences that you could ever want to have. When you do undergraduate research, the way it works is a student will work one-on-one with a faculty member, and so that student can either participate in a project that the faculty member already has ongoing, or they can work together and design a project. And then in some disciplines, some students will design their own project and just have a faculty mentor. And what they do in that is they take a lot of the information that they've gained from a variety of classes, all the skills that they've learned, and they put that together and then do something new. And so it is one of the most thrilling events that a student can have when they put those skills together and they discover something that never has before been known. And so it's just the ultimate experience that they can have as an undergrad. For a lot of our students that want to go on to graduate school, what they're doing is they're training for what they would do in graduate school in terms of research. And so it's a wonderful experience, and one of the things in addition to applying all those skills is getting a student to get used to presenting their research. And so Undergraduate Research Day offers a venue for that. Many of our students also go on to present at other conferences as well. And just a plug-in right there, we have travel awards available to students who have been accepted to present at conferences, and those go up to around $500. And so students can apply for those as well as get credit for undergraduate courses for their undergrad research project.
Oh, that's really cool. I had no idea that y'all did all those things. So if students want to become part of undergraduate research, how do they do that?
Well, I always tell students the very first thing to do is to get involved, is to talk to a faculty member in their department. I usually would pick the faculty member that was my favorite, somebody that you would want to spend time and learn from, and just talk to them, tell them you want to get involved in undergraduate research, and then they can help you develop a project, a proposal. We have 3 deadlines a year, so students can take undergraduate research for credit. And when they do that, you can take it in the fall, spring, or summer, and we have a deadline for each semester throughout the year. And you just turn in your proposal. It has to be approved by your department chair. Your faculty mentor writes a letter saying that they're delighted to work with you and that the project is viable, and that's where you get started.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess that's easy enough.
It is, it is.
So is everyone welcome to attend Undergraduate Research Day?
We would love to have everybody attend. We have faculty members from all over campus that come and see the student presentations. We invite all the students across campus to come as well. And so it's really nice too because it is interdisciplinary. And so when you talk to somebody about your research, talking to somebody in your area of study is one thing, but to talk to somebody in a totally different discipline is an entirely different story. And so not only is it wonderful to be able to share your information, but because of that, it's a great learning experience for the student as well.
Okay. Everyone is welcome to attend Undergraduate Research Day, March 18th from 9:30 to 3:30 in Harmon Hall. Research posters from multiple disciplines will be set up in the hallways and oral presentations happening throughout the day. Coming up on momentUM, Kelly Garrett got to spend some time earlier with Dr. Tidwell doing some experiments in Harmon Hall. We'll be right back.
Create your future as a social media manager, filmmaker, journalist, and so much more with a degree in communication studies and mass communication. Visit montevallo.edu/COFA for more information. You belong at Montevallo.
So we're here with Dr. Cindy Tidwell over in Harmon Hall doing some pretty fun experiments. So what do you have in store for us today?
Well, this is another combustion reaction, and so today we're going to look at combustion of lycopodium in the presence of oxygen. Okay, and so one of the things that chemists are interested in not only is what reactions will occur to produce really important molecules for us to use for a variety of things, but how to get those reactions to happen very quickly. Okay, and so a lot of times you can just change the reaction conditions a little bit and increase the rate of the reaction. For example, if we increase the concentrations of the things that are reacting, or if we heat it up, increase the temperature a little bit, it'll make the reaction go faster. Or if we introduce a catalyst, okay, those things. But today, this one is going to be a little bit different. And so this one we're going to see the rate of the reaction increase drastically, but for a different reason than those three. So we'll look and see if Kelly can help us figure out what that is, okay? So all reactions require a little bit of activation energy to get them started. So we've got this Bunsen burner, okay? So we've got a little gas coming in here. This is our lycopodium. And Kelly, this very well may be the most exciting reaction that you've been waiting for all day long. Okay, so let's see if we can get it started just a little bit. Okay. I mean, check that out.
How neat.
Isn't that super cool? About the best thing you've seen. Worth the trip to Harmon Hall. Are you excited?
We got
Just
fire.
a little bit thrilled. Well, some students get a little bit bored when we do it this way.
Yeah, it's a small flame.
So let's maybe look at it a little different way, okay? All right, I've got another way to introduce it to the flame. Okay, you ready? This is going to look at it?
Ooh.
Okay.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I have to do that.
I like
twice.
that one.
I can't do it just once. That's super great.
That looks like some sort of movie
Okay,
effect.
so it's exactly the same reaction. Exactly the same reaction. But there's something different that makes it go a lot faster. Can you think what that might be? Let me tell you about kinetic molecular theory.
Okay.
Okay, so kinetic molecular theory says that if two atoms or two molecules, A and B, are going to react, they have to collide. They have to collide with sufficient energy to get over the activation energy barrier.
Okay.
And if they're going to react together to make C, A and B make C, they have to collide with the proper orientation.
Okay.
Well, if we think about this, only the molecules at the surface here can react. Okay, because they're the only ones that are going to collide with the oxygen, is the ones on the surface. But when I took this and I sprayed the powder into the flame, what we did was we drastically increased the what? Surface area.
Yes,
the
there's a lot of
surface
pressure
area.
behind it.
Yeah, so we spread those particles out, and that way you could have a lot more effective collisions.
Okay.
So adding a catalyst, heating it up, increasing the concentration, or drastically increasing the surface area can increase the rate of your chemical reaction.
Absolutely. That was pretty interesting.
Yay, very good. Okay, this experiment involves oxidation reduction reaction.
Okay.
And so we're going to use everybody's favorite candy, the gummy bear, and then we're going to use some potassium chlorate. This is a very strong oxidizing agent. And so we're going to oxidize the sugar in the gummy bear. And so I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit of this, okay, and we'll put it in this test tube. This is going to be our reaction vessel today, where this reaction is going to take place. We'll just be real excited and put a lot. You see how very carefully I'm measuring this, okay? So it's really good stuff. We want to be very, very precise. Always. Okay, I'm going to clamp this up right here. Okay. And again, like always, if you hang around with me enough, you're going to realize all chemical reactions require a little bit of heat, activation energy of some kind. Okay, so we've got our gas right here, our Bunsen burner, and I'm just going to heat this up. And what we're going to do is we're going to melt this solid. Okay, so it'll be really hot when we add our gummy bear. This is a high temperature burner, so it won't take a long time, but it'll take a little bit to get this going.
Gotcha. Oh, see some change happening.
So it's starting to liquefy. So you see a little liquid there in the bottom. Now back off just a little bit.
And so what's going to happen to the gummy bears?
So the gummy bear, the sugar, the reason we use the gummy bear is because it has sugar in it.
Okay.
And the sugar will just undergo oxidation. And so when you do an oxidation reduction reaction, there's always gain and loss of electrons. And so it's very similar to some of the reactions that happen in your body. Actually, life as we know it wouldn't exist if it weren't for oxidation reduction reactions.
There you go.
We study those a lot in chemistry and biology over here in Harmon.
And so if students want to do these as part of a class, what kind of class would you recommend to take?
Well, actually, all the demonstrations that I usually do with someone like you, I've done with my Chemistry 100 class.
Wow.
So that'll be a moment we could advertise my next Chemistry 100 class.
Might have to come back and take one of those.
There we go. It's a lot of fun. We do a lot of good chemistry in there.
Awesome.
That course is for non-majors.
Okay.
All right, I think we've got everything melted. So I'm going to take it over here and we'll put it in the chemical fume hood. All right. I'm going to let the sash down just a little bit. Okay. And you can see here's our gummy bear. All right. And I'm just going to drop it right in there. What?
So what's giving it that color?
It's just light. You know, we put energy in the reaction. Energy is something that we can't create or destroy, but you can convert energy from one form to another. For example, in this case, we're converting the chemical energy into heat and light energy.
Okay. Yeah. This is really interesting.
So don't eat too many gummy bears.
They're my favorite, so I'll have to come back. Well, thank you so much for having us today, Dr. Tidwell. We'll be right back with momentUM with a pre-health professional president and vice president to talk more about their club. Stay tuned.
Covering our campus, our community.
And all the stories that matter to you.
This is Valley Vision News.
Welcome back to momentUM. Here to talk about Montevallo's Pre-Health Professional Society, we have Abby and Brady Thornton, president and vice president of the club. Thanks y'all so much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about what Pre-Health Professional Society is.
Okay, so what we do is we're a club mostly of biology, chemistry, and a few math majors who want to go into the health sciences. That can be anything from med school, nursing, dentistry. We have people who want to go to vet school, PAs, physical therapy, pharmacy, anything you want to do that involves taking care of other human beings or other living creatures, that's what we do.
Awesome. That sounds really neat. So what kind of events do y'all hold?
We usually do events like Carnival for a Cure, where we'll set up a booth and just have people come by and we'll discuss with them some of the things that we do with the club and how they can get involved in things like that. We've done like fundraisers and things for local like health facilities and things like that as well. So.
Awesome. So y'all were telling me about dissecting brains earlier. What was that
like?
So
every year at the Halloween party, we do a brain or heart dissection. We just get some whatever creepy organs we can get from Dr. Norriger. This year we did both. So we'll just order a bunch of those and have them set up so that whoever wants to come and dissect a brain or a heart can come do that. And it's a great chance for us to kind of learn and practice what we know from anatomy, or to teach people who just really wanted to see how it works, what we do, and why what we do is important.
Wow, that's really neat. So what benefits does this club offer for students?
One thing that we do and that we're really focused on is helping people get their resumes ready for applying to pre-health programs. Specifically med school is what we're really focused on right now, because that's where most of our graduating seniors are at. We help get some community service in and get some exposure to that to go on your resume. The club itself and leadership positions look really good, so we try to get everybody who wants to be involved in charge of something so that they have something to talk about when they get to their interviews. We do a lot of outside community service projects, so you see we've done things like teaching people how to take their own blood pressures and being mindful of their health, just so we get that hands-on patient care experience and talking to people, and that educational side of medicine, learn how to communicate about how important it is to try to stay healthy. Another big thing we do is try to get people ready for the MCAT, finding resources, taking classes, getting them where they need to go. We have speakers come in at all of our meetings to talk about how to apply to some of these programs, what they're looking for, and what you need to be doing. And so it's just different things like that, and getting people in our club in touch with someone who can help them at their school of choice. So just whatever we can do to get people on the right track is what we do.
Awesome. That's so cool that y'all are able to do so many things on a student level, like as a club.
Yeah, it's neat. We have a lot of, Dr. Norker's real good about letting us be in control and take responsibility for that, because that's what our whole job is going to be about. You have to do everything for yourself, and you have to be pretty self-sufficient. So he's there to guide us, but he tries to let us have as much freedom as he can let us have. So
Awesome. That's great. So when are your meetings held if other students want to attend?
Okay, so we meet usually once a month. We're not having one this month because different things have come up, but our next meeting is April 10th. It's a Friday at 2 o'clock. We always have them in Harmon 105, and this next meeting is a really special one because UAB is coming with their director of admissions, and they're going to do mock interviews for people who have their resume and want someone to look over it, and who want to kind of practice and see what that's going to be like on the real day. And that's open to anybody. It doesn't have to just be medical school. That's what it's going to be geared towards. But just anything that you want to get interview practice for, because they're all generally the same, is what they're going to do for us. And then talk a little bit about the program, and we'll probably have Chick-fil-A or pizza.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Awesome.
Anybody who's interested, stop by. Yeah, so
that's great.
That's
I might
the
have to
next
drop
one.
by. Chick-fil-A interview.
Absolutely.
I mean, you can't beat it.
Right.
So, well, thank you, Abby and Brady, for coming on. To get more information about Pre-Health Professionals Society, you can email Abby at athornton6@forum.montevallo.edu, or their faculty advisor, Dr. Nouriger, at nourigerb@montevallo.edu. When we come back, Abby and Brady will face off in a test of their medical knowledge. We'll be right back.
Gain art school experience with a liberal arts education at the University of Montevallo. Visit montevallo.edu/COFA. Create your future in art. You belong at Montevallo.
Welcome back to Momentum. Now Abby and Brady will test their knowledge of medical cases in the game we call the gray area. I will present 3 medical cases, and you two have to guess whether they're real medical news or a plot line from ABC's hit medical drama, Grey's Anatomy.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Nice.
Sounds fun.
All right.
All right. So our first case, a 42-year-old man swallowed 40 knives over the course of 2 months, possibly due to an eating disorder known as pica. Doctors spent 5 hours removing the knives and said some of the knives were open. He would have bled to death, but had he waited any later to seek medical attention. So is this real or Grey's?
Oh, that's real.
I'm going to say real.
Gotta be real.
Real?
It's too crazy to not be real.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, you're both right. It's real. So that's a crazy story. All right, so the next case. While trying to impress a girl, a teenage boy becomes encased in cement, which begins poisoning his organs, burning his skin, and putting dangerous pressure on his limbs. Surgeons spent around 6 hours to completely remove the boy from the cement and stabilize him. Real or Grace?
Grace.
Grace.
Grace?
Mhm.
You're right. It's Grace. Y'all know
Good
your stuff.
episode.
Okay, so final case for the win. We got a tie here, so we got to break it. A 14-year-old girl lost her contact lens while playing badminton. 28 years later, she complains of a swollen and drooping eyelid. She goes to see an ophthalmologist who finds the lost lens embedded in her eyelid. It's become encased in a cyst that had to be surgically removed. Real or Grace?
That's real because I've lost a contact that way before, so.
Oh my goodness. This one freaked me out.
It's real.
I lost a contact this morning. I hope it's not still in my eye. I don't think it is, but so it's real. So that's kind of scary. But great job, both of you. You both win. Good job.
Oh man.
Thanks again for being with us today. Don't forget, if you're thinking about becoming the next Meredith Gray, check out the Montevallo Pre-Health Professionals Society. Thanks for watching today's show, and be sure to tune in to momentUM again next week for a special episode we're calling Geek Week.